Hi, welcome back. And this is the continuation part of the Oracle 12C RAC installation on VMware Workstation 16 Pro, which is part 5. So let me connect to my virtual machine again and see where we ended last time. Last time we configured the host name and DNS entries, and we created some DNS records for the scan name and physical host name and virtual host name and the private host name for the both the instances. And also we downloaded some ISO file, which is let me show you. Where is that? Yeah, we downloaded one Openfiler ISO, which we are going to use for as a SAN storage. And let me go back, and here is the same URL. You can visit and see the instructions and administration guide. So we are going to do a graphical installation. It's a very straightforward installation, and we are going to add few more mount points which we are going to share between these both two nodes, which we are going to configure ASM mount points, which is Oracle Cluster File System. And the default administrator and user and the password is default. The username is Openfiler and the password will be the password. You can change it if you want, but I'm going to let it be as a default. Let me on my PC and create the required directories. So here I'm going to make the primary directory for the virtual machine itself. I will name it SAN. Then I'm going to start to create a new virtual machine for Openfiler. Here I'm going to select Oracle Red Hat Linux 564-bit. And then I'm going to store the configuration files on the created directory, which is SAN. Let's say SAN. Next. Storage, I think 30 GB will be more than enough. Next. It's just going to act as a SAN storage, so I'm not going to give not more than 4 GB, and I'm going to add the storage as well, which is already I have added 30 GB. What do I need to add more? I don't need any more. Okay, finish. Now I need to add the ISO file, which I have downloaded recently. Let's see in the download folder. There it is. Close and power on the virtual machine. Here we are going to do a graphical installation. It's a very lightweight operating system. For it will do some configuration like web server, hosting the web servers and dependent packages. All right. So as you can see now, just press next. Yes, move on partitions. create a custom layout. So I think the mouse is not working. However, I can use the keys, create new slash boot 500 MB. I'm using my keys on my keyboard. Swap. No, you have to select the swap from here, and the swap will be double off. If you don't know the calculation, you can always do a calculation by calculator. 1024 into 8, that is 8192. That is fine. New slash, and I'm going to fill the maximum allowable size. That's it. And I'm going to press next now. I will keep it default. Here I'm going to give a static IP. I'm going to give the hostname as SAN storage. Edit this. So let me see what was our last IP. It was, so I'm going to use 60 192.68 17.60 24. I don't need IP6 support. Okay, so we have disabled the DHCP. The gateway is 192.168.17.2, and the DNS server is hosted on 17.49. Next. So I have to find my region. I'm just pressing down button on my keyboard to, it's almost close. So next. Okay, I'm going to provide the password. This is for the root password. The front end username. Okay, what is that? The password you entered is quite different. Okay, so you have to give the same password, obviously. It will begin the installation. So meanwhile, I will create few more directories to add the storage. Here I'm going to create on disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, let me rename this SAN underscore disk 1. It will easy to identify. This is a SAN storage directory. I might delete it later if I don't name it properly. That's it. Now let's wait for the configuration to complete. Once it is completed, then we will add the storage. Okay, it is asking to reboot, so I will reboot it. It is starting. So while it is starting, let me go to my DNS server and create a record for this SAN storage server that we are going to use. SAN, and the IP address for that is 17.60 at host. That is done. So let me verify. Ping san.sy.com. I should get the response. Request could not find the host. SAN still starting. It started already. Okay, let me log in. Systemctl IP tables off. Ping. Okay, that is not available. So sysconfig. See, Linux is also not there. So what is the problem then? Right, it is not holding any records. So let me add it 192, 168, 1760 san dot san service network restart. Now let's see. Oh, what I have done is actually my mistake. I need to open the command prompt from the virtual machine. I was trying that from my host machine. San dot ping. So if I want to ping from my host machine, then notepad. I have to open the notepad as sysadmin administrator. Okay, so let me save. It's not save. One drivers GC. Here I can add 192, 168, 1760 san.sif.com. Save. Now if I do from my host host machine, it should ping. See, that's that was the issue. Exit. I can accept this one as well. I can close. It's done. Now heading back to the storage server. So I'm going to shut down it 0. I'm going to edit the virtual machine configuration and add the storage. Add storage hard disk. Recommended. Next. I'm going to give 60 GB. Next, I'm going to store on the created directories which I just now created, which is on F, I think. No, it's on D. Disk 1. Finish. Add another. Same. I will give one more 60. Disk 2. Save. Add another. Next. 60. On the disk 3. Here I've configured the storage, so let's power on. Okay, now if I go to this URL, which is https fan.soyahmad.com 446 to last for the SSL authentication, so I will proceed. Here the user is Openfiler and the password is password. So if you go on volume groups, there are no volume groups, so we can create. Anyhow, if it is not going to work from the front end, we can create it from the back end. So we have this unpartition, which is SDB, SDC, SDC, SDD. We are going to create a partition which is from ending. So let's do some calculation here. Okay, I'm going to create this partition. Create. Got created. So click it again on this. Block devices. Second one STC. I'm going to create the same. Again block devices. The third one STD. The first one is the operating system. Right, now volume groups. Data. FRA. And OCR. I'm going to name it putting desk. ICKC targets, limb mapping. Before that, we need to start some services, I think. I will start the NFS and I will start ICKC target, enable, start, and ICKC initiator and start the initiator. Okay, now go to ICKC target. We don't need the share volumes. Data, ext3, now change it to array, array. I think it has to be blocked by ICKC, not the. So I want to delete this. Yes. Block devices. Should be under volume, under volume. Hmm. It's already in use. We so if it is not there, where it is? Share, not the share. Volumes. So let me delete this volume group and recreate it from the backend. I knew it will fail some point. So let's see VG delete and I can help. Should be VG remove. Yes, it is. VG remove volume group name. open the volume group name is data. Yes. Okay, so I can create it volume group, create. What was that? The path was div std one create data std. It got created. So let's move back to the here it is now. So data. Okay, everything got configured. So let's see target configuration. Add ICPC target. Add that. Mapping. Read write. Map. 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 So let's go back to the editor now. Let's see cat initiator allow. There is nothing here. Let's see if it is not in the initiator deny. It's not here either. After that, just let me remember what we need to do. Alright, so I will end this recording on this step. Then in the next part, we will see how we can configure the grid binaries and users and groups and make the directories required directories and unzip the Oracle database binaries and grid binaries. Then we will do the remaining configuration, which is to get this shared storage in our both Linux servers, and we'll configure it for ASM disk groups. Then we'll start the grid installation, hopefully. Okay, bye bye.